So a friend has asked a question, and she's asked that whenever I try to meditate, it does not happen. And then the more I try to force myself doing meditation, more I become frustrated. So why can't I meditate? These are the exact words. So I would say, first of all, you need to ask yourself, you need to check, why do you want to meditate? Just because you've heard about it, just about these days, lots of people are talking about it. Because people are talking about it, hence you also want to do it because of the FOMO reason. So, whenever you are initiating anything, first of all, you need to be convinced of that. So my first suggestion to you would be, contemplate on it. Think about it deeply. You must know the answer. Why do you want to do meditation? So that's the first thing I would suggest. Having said that, I think let's look at the process of meditation a little differently. Most of us feel that meditation is something that we do. I would say meditation is a state of relaxation, or meditation happens from a state of relaxation. Meditation is an outcome. It's not a direct activity that you do. It's an outcome of something. So let's look at it this way. Why aren't we able to relax in our life? And the answer to that would be because our mind is too wavering. One set of thoughts take me into, let's say, the past. The second set of thoughts take me into the future. These are like counter forces. I'm pulled in this direction, then the other force pulls me into another direction. These are counter forces. They deplete my life energies. And when these life energies are depleted, there is no state of relaxation. There is a state of deadness. So what most of us understand by relaxation, and if you've also experienced so-called relaxation, it's a state which takes you into sleep, which takes you into physical sleep, mental sleep. I would say that's a tamasic relaxation. The meditative relaxation that we're talking about, which I'm saying is like the base, is the right soil, is the right bhumi from where the flowers of meditation will come. That relaxation does not have the quality of sleep. That relaxation rather has the quality of wakefulness, alertness, awareness. So having said that, the second thing I would say is, look at it from another perspective. Once this right bhumi of relaxation is getting developed, or rather I would say, what are other things that you need to do to develop this right soil from which the meditation will come? And the other thing I would say is developing focus. Where is your focus in life right now? If you look at your day-to-day activities, let's talk about physical first. If you look at your physical activities, your physical movements, are you attentive about them? Forget about meditation. Absolutely forget about meditation. Are you even attentive about your basic life movements, your actions? To give you an example, when you're eating, it's an activity. Are you totally there? Are you totally attentive towards eating? Or your mind is wavering into some other zones, some other thoughts, or you're looking at TV, or you're looking at your phone, or you're looking at your social media, or you're talking to people, right? So the first rule of developing this attentiveness is one thing at a time. Be focused, be absolutely attentive. This I'm giving you an example of the physical activity. Let's look at the mental, intellect activity. So let's say you're thinking about something. There's some subject, you need to think about it. You need to contemplate on it, right? Most of the people would say, no, thinking, mind movement is not right. I would say contemplation is very good. It's again the bhumi for developing meditativeness. So when you're even thinking about a subject, I would say contemplate on that subject alone. Do not allow your mind to go on other dimensions. So be attentive of that line of thought, that chain of thought, that subject on which you're contemplating. So that would be an example of mental attentiveness or attentiveness of mental processes. Yeah. So once the attentiveness is happening of the physical action and of the mental activity, then you will say a certain stability will start to arise in your being. Now, from this, some flowers of observation will start to come. You will start to become a witnesser. So far you were focusing on things, now suddenly you will see a gap and you'll start to become a witnesser of things that you're doing, things that you're observing. You're just a pure witnesser, non-interfering witnesser. These are the flowers of meditation which will start to bloom if you create this right booming. So as I said, forget about meditation for now. Focus on A, relaxation, which is the right booming. 2, on the attentiveness. And attentiveness we talked about on your physical activities, physical action, and also your mental thought process, your contemplative processes. Be extremely attentive of those also. And then you'll be amazed that life gives you opportunity, thousands of opportunities every day. Walking becomes meditative. Eating becomes meditative. Seeing becomes meditative. Talking becomes meditative. Looking at a tree becomes meditative. Breathing becomes meditative. Because each will have a tone of absolute relaxation of the being and absolute non-aggressive focus, non-aggressive attentiveness, a very relaxed, observing attentiveness. These, I would say, are the flowers of meditativeness. So change your approach. Do not look at meditation as a direct activity or a process. Hope it makes sense. All the best.